Greetings pimps. Today we have a rare story directly from Wings of Redemption's aka Jordie Jordan's younger days growing up. I personally went to school with Jordie from 3rd to 11th grade when I moved away and had to go to a whole new school for senior year. Now, back in 6th grade was around the time Jordie and I became friends. We used to hang out after school with a group of 6 friends. You know the basic stuff from back then. Two-hand touch football, running amok with BB guns, swimming in creeks, etc. Contrary to now, Jordie was always more adventurous than most of us, usually coercing everyone into doing things he wanted to do that no one else really desired to. One day in 10th grade we were all chilling, during summer vacation, at one of our favorite fishing spots. We weren't fishing on this particular day, but discussing the daily gossip from school. Jordie was mentioning how he had a crush on some girl while a couple of our other friends were discussing how to make some quick cash to buy birthday presents for their mother. Our one friend whose name I won't mention had an issue he really needed to discuss. You see, his parents had passed away when he was little, so he lived with the foster family. His foster brother was a total nuisance, always trying to get into our friend group. You see, most of us didn't have an issue with his foster brother, but Jordie did. And if he had an issue with somebody, they weren't allowed to come along with us. If you tried to outvote him, he would use his size to intimidate everybody. Our friend's foster parents finally decided to put their foot down and were trying to force their son into our friend group since he apparently didn't have many or any friends at all. This, of course, made Jordie angry. For some reason, unknown to me, he clearly hated him. Jordie started cussing him out after our friend told him his foster brother would be joining us this weekend. We had all planned to head up to a pier and sneak some beers from Jordie's house. His family was always drinking, so it was pretty easy to snatch up a few for us all to share. You could see the visible annoyance on Jordie's face as everyone jumped off their bikes and he noticed our friend's foster brother had actually rode along. He remarked that he thought he wasn't dumb enough to actually come. We cracked open some beers and started chilling. The sun was high in the sky, warming everyone as some of us had the first sip of alcohol we had in our entire lives. 30 minutes or so later most of us had fallen asleep or were at least resting, including me. I was quite tired from a long week, so when the subsequent part happened I was still asleep. The next thing I remember was being shaken awake by one of my friends screaming at me that we need to go home as fast as possible. Apparently, Jordie had shoved our friend's foster brother into the water and he couldn't swim. Everybody, besides me apparently, was awakened by the thrashing and screaming. A couple of my friends had jumped in trying to save him but weren't able to pull him up out of the water. Or I assumed so, as they were soaking wet as we all jumped on our bikes. I made it back home and life went on normally until the next day when he was reported missing. As the last ones to see him, we were eventually called into questioning. Now, I don't know if anyone told the entire story or if it was simply deemed an accident, but after that day it was the last I had heard of it. Perhaps it was because I was cleared of any wrongdoing by being asleep, or it was more or less swept under the rug, I don't know. But that is just one of the wild stories from my interactions with Jordie Jordan aka Wings of Redemption while growing up. I have many more I can tell in the future. Now we have reached the end of the story. If you are still here and could not tell already, this is a creepypasta written by me, Mornings Von Cozy. Feel free to use it or edit it in any way you wish. Anyways pimps, we out.